15 days ago, I recorded a video on ND on Blast. Since then, we've seen a 7x price increase. $5,000 invested in ND would have been $35,000 right now. And I've done it myself. I invested $50,000 around the time of my video, and right now they are at $300,000. When each and every asset that you hold in your portfolio, other than ND on Blast, is going down. Do you know why this is happening? Because people are moving into the next big thing. And frankly speaking, if you are not a holder at this stage, they are front running you heavily. You need to be early and you need to be right on this market in order to actually make money. And you are still quite early, but the time is running out. And I know what I'm talking about. I made multiple 7 figures this cycle with meme coins, not trading them, but buying them before liquidity inflows into their ecosystems. You need to be early and you need to be right in order to make money on this market. And you are still quite early, but the time is running out. In fact, literally yesterday, we were only 11% off the previous all-time high. If we've broken through, we would actually be in price discovery currently, with the price of the asset much higher. But the universe gave you one more chance to accumulate. One shot, one opportunity. The question is, would you take it or let it slip? Today, I will present you a 20+ points thesis of why ND on Blast is the next billion-dollar meme coin and why it has 100x plus potential from the current levels. Without further ado, let's start. Here's the structure for today. We will start with memes are the most performing assets. According to a report from Binance, we actually have memes as the most performing asset in 2024. They outperform each and every asset out there by modest 13x return. Nothing else on crypto market was moving. Altcoins that I personally was buying back in December, they are around my entry points. And memes that I was buying around that time, they are doing crazy multiples. So what I'm talking to you about is the asset in the highest performing narrative on the market. And you should not get fooled by the current sentiment. Meme coins are also most performing assets of the previous cycle. Dogecoin and Shiba Inu were the most performing assets of the previous cycle. Therefore, memes will also be the most performing assets of this cycle, showing these strengths already so early in this cycle. Moving on, the only asset that is holding well through the dip. What we can see on this chart is actually a daily chart of ND on Blast. And you know that currently market is in the dip. However, till the start of this month, we see the price movement in 700% till the highs of yesterday. This is the asset that is showing great strength, the greatest strength on the marketplace that you can only have at this stage. No other assets are showing this type of strengths. This can be just the sole reason to actually be buying into this asset, because once the market reverses, most performing assets would actually be receiving additional liquidity. And the question you should ask yourself is why? When your portfolio is going down 20%, 30%, 40%, 70%, something actually is making a 7x during the market dip, largest market dip since several months. And I will respond to this question. And you need to know the response to this question as well. It can heavily influence your performance on this market. Very strong holder base. We had multiple dips during this chart formation as well. Each and every dip was not only sold into, but more people were actually buying into the asset. I know a lot of whales and a lot of holders of this asset. They are holding till multiple hundreds of millions in market cap and billions after that as well. And this asset, this meme on this chain has all you actually need to have to be in billions. And it should actually be happening sooner than you think. And this is where the largest upside is. The market at this stage is still fading. Believe me, a lot of people, they know about this asset. My channel is mostly for crypto influencers in the first place. Most of the influencers that you are watching on YouTube, on Twitter, they are actually watching my channel. I know this by the stats. I know this by talking to people. I know this by seeing what are they talking about in their shows. They know. And either they are accumulating in silence currently to share it with you later, or they are short-sighted. They don't understand what will be happening moving further. Blast with an Ethereum layer 2 with native yield and 100% fees going back to developers with total value locked larger than base, yet no one talking about it. Feel the upside. The upside in the market is in things that no one is talking about at this stage. When you're getting invited into some crypto coin by several Twitter bros or something, it's already too late. When everyone is talking about something, it has zero upside left, and you are the exit liquidity. At this stage, only I am talking about this thing. And we actually have a larger upside here, because a lot of these influencers, they actually don't like me in the first place. And for them to talk about this project would seem like a capitulation to me in the first place. But they will have to capitulate eventually, because this asset will be reaching crazy market caps. They will be forced to talk about these things in the future. This is additional upside because they are mid-curving, because they are hating. This is the Bitcoin through the recent dip. We are going down since $71,000. We are in a downtrend since March. This is not chop, this is downtrend. And Andean Blast is showing 7 axis. This is Solana. Downtrend since March, since the high of $200 back on 1st of April. Andean Blast is doing 7 axis. Solana is going down. Blast is an Ethereum layer 2. With Ethereum ETF, we will be entering into Ethereum season with the ecosystem tokens and layer 2s essentially getting a lot of attention and a lot of liquidity. A lot of whales that I'm talking to are actively looking for Ethereum betas at this stage and accumulate everything in Ethereum ecosystems. Andean Blast is one of the best choices out there. The main reason for that is because, as we can see here, Blast has total value locked of $2 billion at this stage. It's larger than Base, and Base is being heavily discussed, which means that Base thesis is heavily priced in at this stage and probably have limited upside right now. Blast is almost as large as Arbitrum. Blast is only 2 times smaller than Solana. Everyone is screaming about Solana. No one is talking about Blast. This is not something you need to be scared about. This is not something you need to feel any type of risk about. This is something you should feel enormous upside about, because this is data. This is not just me coming up with something. This is data of how much money people actually put on this chain. Layer 2. Imagine and understand the upside. Blast team has a very good reasoning behind the creation of layer 2. They are providing 4% native yield for Ethereum and 5% yield for stable coins, which means you can just put your Ethereum on Blast and you will be receiving 4% yield for Ethereum and 5% yield for stable coins that you will just put on chain. You don't need to lock it up. You don't need to put it into some type of protocols. You don't need to sign anything with your MetaMask wallet. You just put it on chain and you receive this yield, and you're concentrating the inflation of these assets. This type of procedure, this type of process allows for new business models to actually emerge, for the protocols to provide even additional yield on top of it. It provides for incentives in the first place, and that's why Blast is actually highly gamified and incentivized space, incentivized layer 2 on top of it, because of the implementation like this. Blast fees that are generated from transaction fees, from you doing transaction on the chain, they are being distributed 100% back to the developers of decentralized applications. This is huge. This is network effect for the engineers, and I will show you some things about it moving forward as well. what it will result in? It will result in attracting as much projects, as much developers into this ecosystem as it only can, because none other ecosystems can provide similar type of things at this stage, which will result in them taking over the market share, taking over the total liquidity, and assets on Blast appreciate in value, because everyone, one more time, will be looking for a Blast beta to outperform the main Blast token and everything that's happening on the chain in the most performing narrative, which are meme coins. Everyone will be looking for the Blast beta in the most performing narrative, which are meme coins, which is Andy on Blast, the largest meme coin on the chain, following the narrative of Pacman and Boys Club. On top of it, Blast is not Ethereum layer 2 pump and dump. There are a lot of layer 2s that are present on this market currently, Ethereum layer 2s that are designed as pump and dumps in the first place. How does it work? Teams, venture capitalists, they raise a bunch of money, they gather a team, they start working on something on this layer 2 amazing piece of technology. They will be using the money for marketing, hundreds of millions of dollars, pumping the token price up, persuading retail to buy into Ethereum layer 2, and then eventually dumping on them. And the main reason for that is because they raised too large amounts of money for the development of Ethereum layer 2s in the first place. I run an international custom software development company. We work with governments, we work with international businesses, with largest crypto exchanges that you are probably using yourself as well. I have 150 people in my company. You do not need to raise hundreds of millions of dollars to develop Ethereum layer 2, because most of these Ethereum layer 2s, they are not building them from scratch. They are using current available tech stack and just tweaking things here and there. Based and Blast, they are both based on optimism, OP stack. They were not developing the skeleton themselves. Blast only raised $20 million, which tells us that they don't want to be the slaves of the venture capitalists. They don't want to have VCs on board that will require from them to actually perform a pump and dump, because VCs, in any case, they want their money back. They are investing hundreds of millions of dollars to get their money back after that. This is the only sole purpose. On top of it, raising only $20 million shows how bold they are, that they are sure that they would be able to acquire market share, a larger market share, with how the chain is set up in the first place, not spending a lot of money on actual straightforward stupid marketing that all these layer 2s will be spending later in the cycle. And I will show you and I will explain some things about this as well later in this video. For example, we can compare Blast to Arbitrum. Arbitrum raised $130 million. At the same time, total value locked of Arbitrum at this stage is $3 billion. Arbitrum is larger. Arbitrum is older. Everyone is talking about Arbitrum. Total value locked of Blast is $2 billion. Only 50% smaller. No one is talking about Blast. Understand your upside. Understand what I am sharing with you. Blast airdrop season 1. Season 2 and 3 are coming with more incentives for meme coins. The way I made multiple 7 figures this cycle, I was buying meme coins before large liquidity inflows into their ecosystems. This is the exact case. Like this, I know what I am doing here. We will have $2 billion, more than $2 billion airdrop on Blast in 4 days from now. A lot of this liquidity should be ending up in largest meme on chain, and I will show you a bit more information on this as well. However, this will not just be the first airdrop. They will have season 2 and season 3. And the main reason they can have these airdrops is because the way how the chain is set up. This is revolutionary. They are capable of providing native yield on chain. Therefore, they have very nice revenue source in the first place. They can just gamify and incentivize the whole system in the first place through the way the chain is set up. Season 1 will just be first airdrop in a row. We will have season 2 and we will have season 3. I am not just bullish on Andy on Blast because of the great art community, etc. Season 1 blessed airdrop of around $1 billion is just an appetizer. More outside liquidity will come on Blast. The largest Ethereum Layer 2 Season 2 and 3 will be focused on meme coins. Feels so good to be early in Blast, best meme coin. And on Blast, life-changing money. Founder of Blast, Pacman, was saying himself that right now meme coins are suppressed on chain because there are no incentives in holding them and trading them. And on the same interview, he was saying that he understands the importance of the meme season, and the actual team currently is working on the enablement of the meme season on chain at this stage. This is the active issue that they are doing. And he mentioned that in Season 2 and Season 3, there should be incentives for the memes because they do understand, first of all, this is the highest performance sector in the market, highest performing narrative. Secondly, this is the cheapest marketing channel to acquire new on-chain users on-chain. Chains understand this and use it. This is the cheapest user acquisition channel for any blockchain. They will be using it. CZ 2.0 of this cycle. Pacman and his previous success. Leverage bet on his ecosystem and himself. Similar bet making Luke Belmar and Andrew Tate 130 million plus last cycle. Luke Belmar, who made $50 million last cycle, was publicly saying that the reason he was actually able to make this money is because he was betting on winning horses, on winning people. He recognized CZ as a winner early on. He was buying BNB, and then he started to breach into ecosystem of Binance Smart Chain, buying largest DEX, PancakeSwap, and buying some other DEXs such as Bake as well. This would make himself $50 million in this market. This concept is so alien to crypto investment. Not a lot of people are actually betting on people in this space, although this is one of the best performing concepts in investing in default Web 2 world. Venture capitalist teams, they focus on the founders, on the team in the first place when they're making a decision to actually invest into the project. Imagine yourself investing into Steve Jobs. Would you be investing in Apple or you would be investing in Steve Jobs? Always, of course, you would want to invest in Steve Jobs in the first place because companies are people, because projects are people, projects are teams. And you have Pacman, a successful crypto founder who is the founder of Blast, who is the same team working on Blast at this stage, acquiring 2 billion total value locked before the TG, the launch of the token of the chain, having his successful NFT marketplace that took over 80% of the market already. 80% of the market. Blur was taken over. Speaking of the NFTs, they've done it already. They've done it through the same system. They are implementing the similar system. This system works already. TVL number shows that this system actually works already. And you might say, oh, this is just NFTs, who cares? Again, I run a custom international software development company. At the end of the last bull run, we had 15 plus requests from different people, from different companies, wanting to throw hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, into development of their custom NFT marketplace. Everyone was working on it. This is just our company. There are a bunch of companies like ours. This is just our company. And Pacman won. This is why I am bullish on this ecosystem in the first place, because my teams and we were developing these NFT marketplaces, and Pacman won. Bet on the people around the project. Pacman, Godbit founder Alex, Stan. I'm not just bullish on Andy on Blast because of the great art community, etc. I'm bullish on Andy because of the people indirectly and directly behind the meme coin. Their main goal isn't just money. It's making their names to go into crypto history forever. Pacman Blur, founder of Blur and Blast, knows the success of his Layer 2 will heavily rely on success of meme coins. He founded the already very successful NFT marketplace. Did he stop and leave all from his millions? No, he kept on building anything even bigger. Bullish. Do you understand that most crypto founders, they are coming into the first cycle. They are getting money from scammy and shady VCs. VCs are forcing them to make pump and dump. VCs are throwing tens of millions of dollars their way, so they won't send them to jail. And these people are just buying mansions and just leaving. Like founder of Lido, for example, Most people, after the first cycle, they are just living with millions of dollars. That's why most crypto assets are dead after their first cycle. Pacman, with the same team, is coming in to actually overtake and conquer Ethereum layer 2s and all the blockchains. And on top of that, he's quite young. It's quite early for him to retire at this stage. Alex Andrunin, Godbit CEO, connected or not to Andy, look at name similarity, was the man who pushed Bonk to its heights. What's better than proving the world that he will again push another meme coin to #1 of the world? He will push Andy on Blast so hard. Bullish. Alex, I was doing interview with himself. He was saying that they are actively watching after Blast. They are quite excited about what's happening on Blast and that they are market making meme coins on Blast. And Derek22 also mentions me. I don't want a lot to talk about myself, but in a way, this is also a bet on this channel. I correctly predicted Pepe Pump. I was the only one who predicted Ethereum ETF. And a lot of crypto influencers don't like me in the first place because I'm calling them shady scammers. Andy on Blast is a leverage bet on Blast ecosystem in the most performing narrative of this cycle so far, meme coins, and previous cycle as well, because meme coins were the most performing assets of previous cycle as well. The success of Blast since launch has been overwhelming. In the past 24 hours alone, Blast has processed more than $125 million in volume and $740 million in total volume within the last 7 days. Remarkably, that's a growth of 30% compared to last week. Blast currently is picking up to the volumes that are on base at this stage. GM, Blast flip base in user fees for the last 24 hours. Bullish ahead of TGE. Who talks about Blast? No one. Who talks about base? Everyone. The reason they are silent is because they are accumulating themselves to start throwing garbage into your throats once the thesis has played out. The same thing that happened with base. They were not believing into base. Base proved itself with Toshi. Thesis proved itself. Unfortunately, when the thesis became priced in to a certain extent, they came in and started pushing garbage. Surprising that Binance Smart Chain still has 5 billion on there. Blast also flipped base. No one talking about this. When Blast was announced in November, you had people saying it was a fake layer 2 and that it would rock. And here we are now in June. Days away from the TGE, and Blast is literally one of the biggest blockchains in the entire space. Wild. People were mainly saying that this is a fake layer 2 because they did not believe in native yield. And here is Pacman himself explaining it. There is a meme going around that Blast is a Ponzi. The yield that Blast provides users can feel too good to be true. So this meme is understandable. But to put it simply, the yield Blast provides comes initially from Lido and MakerDAO. Lido yield comes from Ethereum staking yield, which is part of Ethereum's proof of stake consensus mechanism. Yield for Ethereum, in this case, is coming from Ethereum itself. MakerDAO yield comes from on-chain T-bills. T-bills are debt obligations from US government. They are central to how the US economy works. These yields are not unsustainable. They are a core component of the on-chain and off-chain economy. The reason the yield feels too good to be true in Blast is because Blast makes this yield the default for everyone. Democratization and decentralization at its best, which will inevitably lead us to Web3 adoption, not your scammy celebrities, shitcoins on the most shitcoin chains out there, which is Solana. It gives users yield that was hiding in plain sight, in effect democratizing higher yield. Yield that you are getting on Blast, 4% on Ethereum and 5% on stablecoins, is exactly the same as risk-free yield with US bonds. It's 4.5%. That's why it's not a Ponzi. That's why it's not Luna in the first place, because it's sustainable. It's off-chain, real-world yield. Moving forward, Blast did more transactions than Ethereum yesterday and hit a new all-time high as well. Excited for next week. This is the post from today. I'm earning up to 40,000 Blast Gold while playing on-chain version of my favorite childhood game. The full Cambria MMORPG is live. You'd be naive to think activity will disappear post-TGE. Lock up 50% of my Blast tokens for all I care. Either way, my summer is sorted. The reason play to earn can actually exist on Blast, not as Ponzi. It will not be failing like each and every play to earn before. The main reason for that is because they have real revenue sources that they are providing for the projects right away, which is native yield. You can take all of the money in your treasuries that your users are staking and just put them on chain. You don't have to lock it up anywhere. You will be generating revenue right away. And secondly, all the transactions from all the fees that your users are actually performing in your decentralized application, your game, they are coming back to you. This is real revenue source. What you're doing after that, you're creating the tokenomics, which is based on these real revenue sources. And it's not a Ponzi in the first place. It stops being Ponzi because it's based on real revenue sources. Friend built an application on Blast Layer 2 that earned $380,000 in revenue over 3 weeks. No token, just pure fees, baby. Meanwhile, my enterprise SaaS friends are grinding hard to break $100,000 annual recurrent revenue. This is $8,000 a month. Of the most boring dry tech imaginable. Study having fun. This is network effect for the engineers. This is why this will overtake. This is why it's taken the market share of the whole blockchain space. Of all of the blockchains, they will not be able to compete because blockchains are immutable, smart contracts are immutable. They will not be able to implement these fast, to implement this quickly. Until they will realize this, they will be dead already. This is the only chain that will be alive along with Ethereum close to the end of the cycle, acquiring at least half of the total value locked of Ethereum. Fade it if you want to. You literally get paid to hold it while it appreciates. This person is specifically speaking about Andy on Blast, and the main reason is because when you're holding assets on Blast, you actually have a chance to receive jackpot. And Andy on Blast holders 4 days ago won $500,000 plus. This is a very, very conservative estimate. $500,000 is a very, very conservative estimate because following conservative estimates, me personally, I won $25,000 with only adding half of the supply that I hold myself, that I own, that I bought for $136,000 from the market of Andy on Blast meme token, which is public, which I showed in my video, each and every buy. There are no chains with implementations like this. There is nothing you can see on any other chain. This is only on Blast. This is not a Ponzi because it's sustainable for the way the chain is designed in the first place. This will be overtaking everything. Each and every chain you hold your assets on. And the most popular chains currently, they're just scammy pump and dumps launched by influencers to rob you out of your money. Not launched by influencers, but shielded by influencers. Prediction: Pacman makes everyone stupid rich with Blast. Tremendous hope on the timeline, mainly from people who faded it because they thought Blur killed NFTs. The Ponzi continues for another season. Ethereum starts reaping as everyone sells their soul to bridge to Blast. Blast makes NFTs great again. What will be happening, you might ask, if this will be happening? People will be looking for the asset to use as leverage bet on Blast to outperform the Blast because they missed it, because they faded, because the favorite influencer was not talking about it in the first place. They will be buying asset in the most performing narrative, following the narrative of the largest meme of this cycle to outperform the ecosystem and have exposure to the ecosystem. They will be buying Andy on Blast. Right now, if you are getting into Andy on Blast, you are literally buying before billions of dollars coming into the ecosystem and hundreds of millions of dollars coming into Andy on Blast. Understand your upside for once in your life. We also had recent FUD on the airdrops from Kobe himself, a great trader investor from previous cycles. He was saying that airdrops are not sustainable. And this is the feedback from someone who is farming Blast airdrop. Perhaps a model where users are incentivized to bring activity on chain by giving promising projects a free user acquisition budget with a publicly tracked leaderboard would be a good idea. Oh wait, that's Blast, and it's the only viable method going forward. Understand what is happening. I'm tired of screaming this in your face. Understand what is happening and what you are exposed to. More than $2 billion of liquidity inflows coming in 4 days. No other meme in the history of this market was experiencing such inflows. Something similar happened to Bonk, which resulted in 3,700% price increase in short term, and started Solana meme season, allowing Solana to reach $200 this cycle. Without Solana meme season, Solana shitcoin is dead. Is dead this cycle. The setup we have right now is terribly similar to the Bonk setup. Even market conditions wise, it almost feels like the simulation is lagging. I probably should not be sharing that, but even some teams around projects are the same. The ones that enabled most of the success last time. I'm speaking about Bonk. Crazy. Prepare for 3,700 plus move, I guess. None of the memes on the market experienced a 2 billion plus liquidity ecosystem airdrop. The closest is Bonk, which resulted in a 3,700% short-term asset appreciation. This is short-term. It went higher after it. Kicking off Solana meme season, eventually resulting in Solana reached all-time highs of $200 per token. Why I'm talking about this? Maybe I'm talking about this because I was doing an interview with the CEO of Godbit, who is the market maker behind the success of Bonk, and listen to what the founder of the company, the CEO, has to say on the effect of the airdrop on-chain in the ecosystem and the success of Bonk. And let's actually figure out if he's talking on Blast, right?
First airdrops brought a lot of on-chain liquidity to Solana, and it's easy to compare with Biden checks to US citizens during the COVID. So when this free liquidity comes into ecosystem, usually it stays into ecosystem and just distribute from airdrop hunters to most hyped projects on chain. And Bonk, I think from August till December was the #1 hype on Solana. That's why they collected a lot of liquidity from airdrops. I think that next chain, which will be famous for meme coins, can become Blast.
Interesting, right? The founder of the company behind the success of Bonk that enabled your meme season on Solana so you can rob single moms and you can rob hardworking men out of Midwest. The sole reason Solana meme season happened is because of this person, is because of the infrastructure that he and his team built, enabling the success of Bonk. Not your answer, not your shitty influencers in the first place. This is the only reason Solana meme season happened. And this person is telling you that airdrop effect for on-chain memes is bullish, and he is thinking that Blast will become the next chain for meme season. This is just point number 10. I have 10 more for you. I have 10 more for you. There is word on the street saying people that pushed Bonk are helping here as well. This is just word of the street. I can't be sharing a lot from my end, you know, but in the same interview, founder and CEO of Godbit is saying that they are market making meme coins on Blast. Our overall setup is very similar market conditions wise even. In the current market, it takes one large mover to suck up all the liquidity. A lot of people know about the project, a lot are fading the project, and they are fading Blast, saying that people were fading Solana and Bonk. This is where the upside is. You need to understand market conditions. This is just so crazy. We are in the downtrend currently. People are scared. People feel pain. They're seeing their portfolios going down each and every day. Once we would have a sole asset that is winning on an ecosystem that is winning with free money, with free liquidity on chain on this ecosystem, everyone will be selling the current bags to buy into these assets because it will just be this escape to feel that you are making money in crypto one more time, to feel that you are not missing out. This is the same exact setup that was happening with Bonk on Solana. At the time when Bonk was surging up, people were fading Solana. They were not serious about it. They were not serious about memes. This is the exact time with, with the same people, arguably, right? I don't know for sure. I don't know 100%, right? With the same people, potentially, working on this thing as well, in a similar setup. That's why I'm saying that simulation is actually lagging. It just cannot be happening. And it's so bullish that the market is actually fading this. It's so bullish that people are hating. They're hating on me, so they don't want to buy. I am pushing this, but I bought $136,000 from the market. This is not a meme that I started for myself. People are fading. People are hating on me. That's why they don't want to buy into the asset that I am shilling. They will be capitulating. Imagine the upside that's coming. Because it's very, very bullish. When everyone is screaming about your asset, well, you don't have much upside left. We are already at a liquidity, a very, very significant amount of liquidity. Your Solana meme coins with this amount of liquidity, they will be at $150 million valuation. Wolf on Solana that just surged up recently, it has the same liquidity as Endion Blast. How many people are screaming about Wolf on Solana? It's the main meme coin out there. No one the fuck is talking about Endion Blast because do you understand the upside? Do you understand how early and how much liquidity is actually going your way? Most of the established memes either ended their wave 5 formation preparing for global wave 2, a corrective wave. This is following Elliott wave theory. This is actually something that works, not your wishy-washy TA that each and every person interprets the way they actually want. Ended the wave 3 formation with limited upside in wave 5. Wave 3 is the most explosive and downside in a corrective wave 4. Yet the overall market is entering wave 3. Once current reversal will come, market will be entering wave 3. You know what is entering wave 3 as well? The most explosive wave out there with the highest percentage gain. Yes, you're right. Andy on Blast. Exactly. Right now, we are only entering wave 3. This is the end of the wave 2. We are entering wave 3. With short-term estimates 3 to 4x from here and wave 5 at $4, $3 to $4, 9 to 12x's from here. This is conservative because the setup, it sent Bonk to billions. The setup can really just send Endion Blast to billions right away as well. The current thing that are happening. You cannot imagine what type of capitulation will be. You cannot imagine how many communities and people are hating on me for throwing the truth in their eyes, for being arrogant, for showing them that, for highlighting their imposter syndrome, that they are nothing before crypto. They've done nothing positive in their lives except robbing single moms and taking the savings. And this is what hurts. This is why they don't talk. This is why they don't want to capitulate. At the same time, acquiring this asset while not telling you. You have to understand this is the overall trend of the marketplace. A lot of assets, they either finished the wave 3 already, or they've entered, or they're entering wave 5, which is way less explosive than the wave 3. You need to focus on the assets. I'm not talking about Endion Blasts only at this stage. You need to focus on the assets that only ended the wave 2 because they will have the most explosive movements. And these are the assets that are kind of dead. These are the assets that maybe were moving up in December, in November, right? But they were not moving much after that. These are the assets that will have the most explosive movements. Your assets that just had the explosive movements just recently, they will not be performing at the same levels. This is a psyop that is prepared to you to actually take money. They want to have their exit wave 5 so they can take profits on wave 5, which is way less explosive. While you are paying millions of dollars in opportunity costs, buying the assets that they're talking about that seem safe but will not perform in comparison to the assets that will only be entering wave 3, the most explosive wave. Please, I beg you, understand this. Holders of Endion Blast receiving $500,000 plus for just holding a meme will never be happening on other chains, have a high chance of happening again and in larger numbers, only on Blast. Okay, Endion Blast just won gold jackpot. I won 5,452 gold with the estimated price of gold at TG at the launch in 8 days, in 4 days right now, of at $5 to $10. That should be around $25,000 to $50,000. Nice for holding an asset. Do you understand what Blast is? $50,000 for holding an asset. You will not see this on any other chain. And Endion Blast just won jackpot once. Other memes on chain, they actually won jackpot 3 times and they were winning a larger pot of jackpot. We should be winning moving forward. And this jackpot, it does not stop in 4 days from now because it will last till the season 2. So for upcoming months, jackpot will be present as well and you will have a chance to actually win money just for holding the asset. And at the same time, in order to be eligible to win it, you need to end your asset into a jackpot deck which adds additional action, which kind of makes it harder to sell. It is not staking, you can like kind of move it away anytime you want. But psychologically, it's one more action to sell the asset if you want to sell. Therefore, it actually strengthens the holder base. It strengthens the floor. And this asset is holding the floor. Man, like crazy. 7x in the downtrend. We are eating each dip in no time. We are eating each dip in hours. It's gone. Because there are a bunch of money sidelined, understanding the potential, wanting to get in. Asset is preparing for the wave 3, which is the most explosive. Right here. Go check out Elliott Wave Theory. We are preparing for wave 3. We are not even at the previous all-time highs yet. You are so early. And the reason I'm telling you so early, because you know, most crypto bros, what are they doing? They are buying out all of the supply of the token for $800 at the exact bottom, right? Usually they're buying a dead token on top of it, right? They're pumping it using their socials. And they're telling you that you are so early, we are going to billions, just buy in. At the same time, they're selling on you. I bought $50,000 worth of ND on Blast at 30 million market cap several days ago, 3 days ago. Right now we are at 33 million market cap. I'm not a pussy. I'm telling you something that I am doing myself. And the reason I bought it is because I understand the upside, is because I understand that short term, I'm turning this $50,000 into $200,000 at least, if not $500,000. Chart looks beautifully, show an experienced market maker at play. I was showing this chart to several technical analysis experts, people who predicted, following technical analysis of Bitcoin, war between Russia and Ukraine. Do you know such people in your circles? I know, I'm working with them. They were saying that this chart looks perfectly, this chart looks beautifully. It shows a very, very professional market maker at play. This is all I will tell you. I will not go deeper, right? We just broke through the final support recently and got rejected. There is a higher chance we break through it moving forward. The more attempts we make, the higher the chance is. Meaning right now, we are at exactly last move before all-time high reclaim and price discovery. So what I'm talking about, this is the chart that I actually was creating. I was expecting a breakthrough here before we actually broke through here, before I predicted this in the first place. We got rejected. We were sent back into the bottom of the range. We are at the middle of the range currently. And the thing is that I do expect for us to break out through this resistance quite soon. The main reason is because when your chart tries to break out for a certain level and it gets rejected, it actually has way higher chances to break through it through the second attempt, third attempt, fourth attempt. The more attempts the asset actually has to break through a certain level, the higher the chance it will actually break through. On top of it, this is exactly what happened with the previous level, with the previous two resistance levels. We were going up right here if you can see it, and we went back down and we recovered this resistance. We broke through here, we got sent back, we recovered. This is exactly what is happening. The chart is just following the patterns after patterns. But the thing is that after these resistance levels, we will not have another range. We will not have anything. After we break through it, after we close the daily candle above this resistance, we will not be going down. We will not have a lot of resistance. It's close to zero resistance till our all-time high after it. And after all-time high, we are in the price discovery. We are in the free float on the market. We will be just surging up with no previous resistance, because price discovery means that everyone who was buying ND on Blast ever is in profits. Ethereum bet in the first place because it's paired with wrapped Ethereum on the DEX as well. When the asset is paired in liquidity pool with wrapped Ethereum, when Ethereum will be surging up, the Ethereum will be automatically swapped into the asset to equalize the liquidity pair. This is how DEXs and automated market makers actually work, and how this whole thing works without a middleman in the first place. And with Ethereum surge up, with Ethereum just staying steadily, this asset is doing 6 to 7x. This is the asset based on Ethereum on the most bullish layer 2 that's receiving $2 billion+ airdrop, the first one, in 4 days from now. 4 days from now. New shiny object with a bunch of liquidity, with the same market makers, allegedly, that were pushing Bonk. With the narrative of Pacman, Boys Club. Do you understand what is happening? Last but not least, some of you might say that I'm crazy, right? You know, I have this weird thing from my childhood. I assign a color and internal view to things. For some reason, Endian Blast has a golden, divine glow in my mind. I can vividly imagine that, and most of my dreams are grayscale only, probably nothing. Interestingly, I recently just randomly found what is it in the first place and how it called. Synesthesia or synaesthesia is a perceptual phenomenon in which simulation of one sensory or cognitive pathway leads to involuntary experiences in a second sensory or cognitive pathway. Frankly speaking, in simple words, when you imagine one thing, you can assign a thing from a different sense to it. So I can think about events, I can think about people, and I will assign color to them. This is something I have from my childhood. Only 4% of people on this planet actually have something like this. I probably have not a very developed version of this because I only have colors. Some people are seeing shapes, they're seeing some things when they listen to music. I don't have it. Divine yellow glow that I have with a connection to Endian Blast in my head is the color I've never seen in connection to any item, to any event, to any person in my life before. Most of you will fade this. Most of you will say I'm crazy. Billionaires among you and future billionaires will become bullish as fuck. Finalizing the whole thing, why you can't buy Endian Blast. You can buy Endian Blast as a leverage bet on Blast. You can buy Endian Blast as a leverage bet on Pacman. You can buy Endian Blast as a leverage bet on Ethereum. You can buy Endian Blast as a leverage bet on Pepe. You can buy Endian Blast as a leverage bet on Brett. You can buy Endian Blast as a leverage bet on me. You can buy Endian Blast as leverage bet on the market maker and success of Bonk repeating. You can buy Endian Blast as leverage bet on memes continue doing well this cycle. You can buy Endian Blast because I bought it. For some people it's enough of a conviction already, and keep buying it. You can't buy Endian Blast because it's the only asset that is performing strongly through the dip. You can't buy Endian Blast because no influencers and market is talking about it yet. They will be capitulating to it, and it will be the most hated rally with a bunch more people getting to know about it. This is where the upside is. You can buy Endian Blast as first original boys club anti-character with organic community and people buying out supply from the market in a fair way. I paid $136,000 for the supply that I have. You can buy Endian Blast because 2 billion plus airdrop is coming, only first in line with others following it. 2 billion plus airdrop is coming in 4 days. You can buy Endian Blast because you can actually win money holding it. And current holders of Endian Blast already won $500,000 plus in total. You can buy Endian Blast because you're buying before success listing and asset will be appreciated in price because of it. You can buy Endian Blast because upside is enormous at this stage with most of the market fading. You can buy Endian Blast because in the current market one stone mover will attract most of the liquidity. You can buy Endian Blast because project quality and team approach is better than most of the meme projects out there, even the largest one, which means it will be the most appealing for normies as they recognize quality and don't recognize degen meta much. You can buy Endian Blast because you will be positioning yourself before the largest liquidity inflow seen in this cycle. Not only multiple airdrops, with first being in 4 days from now, but overall Blast takeover. For some people, only one of these reasons is already enough to get in. For some, maybe 2, max 3. You have more than 15 right here. Everything, and you can combine each and every one of them to be your reasoning. People are aping meme coins, shit coins on Solana when they have 1 or 2 or max 3 reasons like that. You have 15 plus. People are buying meme coins because they can just buy it because the influencer told them. You have 15 plus reasons here. What you have to think about, please, I invite you, come to comments, argue with my logic. Show me where I am not right. Show me where I am wrong. I am entering with my conviction. I am not talking bullshit to you. I paid $136 myself with the last purchase of $50,000 happening 3 days ago. With me buying a $30 million market cap. I have ultimate conviction on this meme and on this chain in the first place. This is the home run. You are blessed to watch this video currently. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will be seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.